The city of Lagos buzzed with power, ambition, and luxury. At the top of the skyline stood the Horoscope Tower, the headquarters of one of Africa's biggest conglomerates. Inside, deals worth millions were sealed every day, and only the bold survived. The company's CEO, Mr. Xavier, was a man of wealth and influence. But after a public scandal involving his wife, Vashti, who had refused to appear at a company gala he called mandatory, he announced something that made headlines. Horoscope will hold open executive auditions for a new vice president, a woman who represents both grace and vision. It wasn't just a promotion, it was a crown. Somewhere in Suralere, Hadosa, a young Christian woman who had lost both parents, lived with her older cousin, Mordecai, a humble accountant. Hadosa, known to most as Esther, had just finished her master's degree in business administration, but struggled to find work. One afternoon, she saw the job posting online. Female candidates only. Executive Vice President, Horoscope. Mordecai urged her, apply, Esther. Who knows if this is the opportunity God prepared for you? She hesitated. Me. Compete with CEOs' daughters and foreign-trained elites. Faith, not fear, Mordecai replied gently. Remember, God doesn't need qualifications to qualify you. He just needs your obedience. That night, Esther prayed. Her voice trembled as she whispered, Lord, if this is my assignment, go before me. Give me favor that no degree can buy. The next week, she walked into Horoscope for the first stage of the interview. Her suit was simple, her heels slightly worn, but her confidence came from a higher place. Dozens of glamorous women filled the conference hall, some influencers, others the daughters of billionaires. Cameras flashed. Makeup shimmered. The air smelled like competition. When it was Esther's turn, she didn't give a pitch about money or luxury. She spoke softly but firmly. Leadership is not about power. It's about service. A company that serves its people will never stop growing. The room went silent. Even Mr. Xavier lifted his head from his phone. Later that night, one of the judges whispered, Who is that girl from Suralere? She spoke like she was born for this. Weeks passed. The announcement came in a viral tweet. Hadosa Esther appointed as the new executive vice president of Horoscope. Mordecai cried as he read it. The orphan has become the queen of the boardroom. Not everyone celebrated Esther's rise. Behind the polished smiles and boardroom applause, Hyman Bello, Horoscope's ruthless chief financial officer, clenched his jaw. He had spent years building influence and expected to be promoted next. But now, this nobody from Suralere had taken the spotlight. She thinks faith and humility can run a company, he sneered to his assistant. I'll show her what real power looks like. Hyman began to manipulate board members, leaking false reports, planting rumors that Esther was only favored because of his sentiment. Soon, whispers filled the corporate corridors, she's inexperienced, she doesn't belong here, she's too soft. But Esther didn't fight back. Every morning before entering the office, she sat quietly in her car and prayed. Father, I don't need to defend myself. Fight for me. And slowly, everything Hyman plotted began to backfire. The board noticed that under Esther's leadership, employee productivity and satisfaction skyrocketed. Clients trusted her. Staff respected her. She had what money couldn't buy, favor. Then one afternoon, Mordecai rushed into her office, breathless. Esther, he said, holding his phone, look at this. Hyman had convinced the CEO to sign a new corporate decree, a massive downsizing plan that would fire hundreds of low-level workers, mostly from struggling backgrounds. It was framed as a cost efficiency policy, but Mordecai knew it was a setup. This is wrong, he said. You must speak up before they destroy people's lives. Esther's heart pounded. You know what happens if I question Mr. Xavier's decisions without permission? It could cost me my job, or worse. Mordecai looked her in the eyes. Don't think because you sit in that office, you're safe. Perhaps you're there for such a time as this. That night, Esther couldn't sleep. She turned off her phone, knelt by her bed, and prayed through tears. Lord, give me courage. Not to be famous, but to be faithful. 3 days later, the board gathered for the final vote to approve the downsizing policy. Everyone expected Esther to remain silent. She was, after all, the young, obedient VP. But when it was her turn to speak, she stood. Her voice was calm, but her words carried fire. With all due respect, this company was built by people who gave their sweat and time, cleaners, drivers, junior staff. If we destroy them, we destroy our foundation. We don't need to cut lives to make profit. We need to restore integrity. The room went dead silent. Even Mr. Xavier leaned forward. What are you suggesting, Esther? She took a deep breath. We can restructure, not retrench. Let's redirect bonuses, review executive expenses, and build a welfare plan. Our Corp can be profitable and compassionate. Her boldness shocked everyone. Mr. Xavier turned to Haman. Is that true? Are executive bonuses still active during this policy? Haman stammered. Well, technically. Enough, Xavier snapped. Freeze the policy. Launch Esther's proposal immediately. The board erupted in murmurs. Esther bowed her head silently, whispering, "Thank you, Lord." Days later, an internal audit uncovered corruption in Haman's department, massive fraud and money laundering. He was fired, arrested, and publicly disgraced, the headline irony, as the trap he set for others became his downfall. Months passed. Corp's new welfare policy became a national model for ethical business. The media began calling her the Queen of Corporate Grace. But Esther never took the glory. During an award ceremony, she said, "I'm not just here because I'm smart, I'm here because God placed me here. Success is not when you rise high, but when you lift others while you rise." In the crowd, Mordecai smiled proudly. And as the lights dimmed, Esther whispered to herself, "For such a time as this."